So I'm here on Mr. Hunter. He had an issue, he bond forfeited, he's back for an arraignment today. I've spoken with the state, they've made an offer. We're asking for one setting for Mr. Hunter to consider that offer. And then the state is going to eval the case if not, and if reasonable minds still disagree.
Where is Mr.? I don't even see Mr. Hunter.
He's in here. Mr. Hunter?
Has he made
Yes, he bonded out.
sending him for a drug test right now?
Okay. Right.
I don't know what you have offered. I like it.
And just,
I'm going to tell you now that it's not going to be this revolving door.
Here we go, folks. Judge Fleischer is done with the revolving door courtroom drama. When a judge starts warning a defendant about confusing the court, that's code for you're running out of chances. What do you think? Is Mr. Hunter pushing his luck?
Anymore.
right.
No more revolving doors for you, Mr. Hunter. You understand? If I find that you're using, it will not go well for you. You come to court whenever you want to come to court. That's not the way it works. I'm sending you now for a drug test.
I know.
I guess we'll come back Monday and address the results because it's now 11 o'clock. I don't know.
Okay.
I just don't know if it's enough time.
Okay. And Mr. Hunter just informed me he drug tested yesterday. So I don't know if we have those results yet.
The pre-trial people, the pre-trial people that I'm audited for drug tests, maybe Monday and
I don't
Thursday.
know how because there was no order from us. If he's on the land and then he makes bond, those bond conditions are valid. You know what I mean? So we can't just.
Got a report Monday.
Shh.
Okay, so when he was released, there were bond conditions in place that he needs to report on Monday and Thursday for drug testing.
Okay.
And so he did that yesterday.
Did you test?
Yes, he did, Judge. He had, from the drug test that I see, yesterday, he did a consumption, deposit for.
Okay, I'll let this. All right.
So yeah, for the deposit 48, then though I see it. Probably, that's what
You will now test every Monday and Thursday. You test positive for anything else, it's not going to go well for you. You understand, Mr. Hunter? Now is the time for you, once again, to address any issues you may have. If you don't, I'm going to address it for you. Okay? So we'll let him go now.
Okay,
Continue with the same bond conditions that we've always had,
okay.
and then he'll test again on Monday.
And so just to let you know where this case is heading, the state has asked for one setting to eval it. And then, if reasonable minds still disagree, then we're gonna, set it for a dispositive motion to suppress with the court's permission.
I don't know. I'm just going to set up a trial.
Okay, we can do that too.
It's just way too much drama, man. I'm not going to, just
Well, we'll have to see.
let a jury decide.
So you'll go do the,
So,
we'll stand down, Judge.
yeah, just, okay. Anna will continue like always. He's going to be back Monday and test.
Let's go.
Thanks.
We're not going to be. This is from Manuel Cooch, who is in custody.
We're bringing them out there.
Okay. I'm bringing you out now because I have great concern with your cases and the way that your bonds were set at this time. It appears that in September of last year, you pick up a felony assault of a public servant and an evading arrest. A couple months later, an aggravated sexual assault. And I'm assuming he's out on bond for all this stuff, and now he's picked up another case? You You now stand charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 17, 2025, at approximately 2:46 p.m., officers were dispatched to 3099 NASA Parkway, Houston, Harris County, Texas, for an intoxicated male who had fallen off his bicycle and dropped his firearm onto the ground. Upon arrival, the officer observed other officers detaining the defendant and transferred custody to the affiant. The officer spoke to the witnesses, who stated they observed the defendant in an intoxicated state, walking along the sidewalk and stumble onto the ground, and they observed a semi-automatic firearm fall out of the front pocket of the defendant's hoodie. Witness 1 retrieved the firearm from the defendant and handed it to witness 2. Witnesses then held the defendant until the police arrived. The officer attempted to question the defendant, but the defendant was unable to provide the officer with information as to why he was in possession of the firearm due to his intoxicated state. And the defendant was identified via his U.S. residency card.
Does he have an ice wall? Do you know? Mr. Cruz, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case.
He does have an ice cold, Judge.
Did you have anything you want to?
Your Honor, I'd also like to add that a condition of his felony bond was to not possess a firearm, so this won't be into BPO.
Yeah, I think Mr. Cruz, they've given you chance after chance for you to remain out on bond. And I find by clear and convincing evidence that you refuse to comply with bond conditions. There are no non-financial conditions that we can do that will enable you to comply. As a result, I am now going to revoke your bonds and I'm going to set them all at $10,004. Because of the actions now, I think that
He does have a fine state.
you now have an immigration detainer. So, do you know anything that's going to happen with that by chance? You know? Okay. So I don't know if you're going to get out. If you get out, I'm ordering you to be under home confinement. You are not allowed to be released unless you have a GPS monitor on your ankle. And then I'm also on your other ankle, I will put a scram monitor so I know that you're not consuming anything. You are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. You're not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
Okay. You need him to sign the conditions and then after that we'll set him. It looks like the felony is set for, May. Let's do 30 just in case, and then if nothing's happened in the felony, then we can do another 30 after that time. So, okay. Thanks. Alexander. Ma'am, you're charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow, so you are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're going to do probable cause. You are Janae Alexander?
Janaya.
Janaya? So you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. Okay.
On March 22nd, 2025, an officer responded to a minor traffic incident. Upon arrival, the officer met with the wheel witness officer who stated that he was conducting a safety control of a disabled 18-wheeler on the shoulder with his emergency lights activated. The officer stated that he was on the shoulder when he was struck on the driver's side by the defendant's vehicle. After the crash, the officer observed the vehicle to continue to travel southbound. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant of the vehicle, and immediately detected the strong odor of alcohol upon her breath and slurred speech. The defendant exited the vehicle, and the officer observed unsteady balance. The defendant admitted to consuming alcoholic beverages prior to driving. The affiant officer made contact with the defendant and observed the same signs of intoxication. The defendant stated that she was on her way home from a bar and consumed 1 mixed drink at 9 p.m. The defendant stated she was unaware of when she struck the patrol vehicle. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues were observed on the HGN. 6 out of 8 clues observed on the walk-in turn. 2 out of 4 clues observed on the one-leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to a breath test. The results were .202 and .201.
Any prior DWI? And
No prior, Judge.
license?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Ms. Alexander, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. Do you understand? Ma'am, look at me. If I find that you're using, it's not going to go well for you. I'm not asking much from you. If you do not have a valid Texas license and liability insurance in your name, car insurance, you're not allowed to drive. That is also a condition. Do you understand? How old are you, ma'am? You're
23.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Would you like to apply for a court of conviction?
Yeah, I don't have, I knew one.
Okay. So Deputy Miranda is going to give you an application for an appointed lawyer. I'm going to have you sign a receipt. Victoria will have you take a seat in the jury box while you fill it out. You will meet with pre-trial bond conditions, then I'll have you talk to someone here shortly. Okay? Yes. Are you Victor Ortiz?
No, Judge.
No, this is Osman Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or $4,000. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you can afford one will be appointed to you.
On March 21st, 2025, an officer responded to a two-vehicle accident that occurred near the 5,000 block of Bingle Road. The complainant stated that she had made a right-hand turn northbound on Bingle Road and was already traveling northbound when she was struck on her driver's side by a white van. The complainant identified the defendant as the sole occupant and driver of the striking vehicle. The officer made contact with the defendant and observed red, glossy eyes, the strong odor of alcohol upon his breath, and sweat. The defendant stated he consumed 2 beers, 1 at work and 1 in his vehicle as he was driving home. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues were observed on the HGN. 2 out of 4 clues on the one-leg stand. 3 out of 8 clues on the walk-in turn. The defendant consented to provide a breath specimen. The results were .160 and .177.
Did they find alcohol in the car to substantiate that allegation?
Doesn't state in the bill, Judge.
Does he have a license? And any prior DWIs?
He does not have a driver's license and no prior DWI.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you are not allowed to drive. That is a condition of your bond. I will have you sign with me today a promise to me that you're going to make. This is an affidavit that I take absolutely serious. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if you have a bunny that needs operating. If I find that you drive, it's not going to go well for you. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you, you will be stuck like Chuck in there until this case is over with, and then you get shipped off to immigration. Do you understand? You're not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication, and you will be randomly tested. If I find that you're consuming, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail, no more PR bonds for you. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. Mr. Rodriguez, it is your responsibility to stay in touch with him. If Mr. Salinas tells me that he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, you pick up a new case, you endanger my community, I will put you in jail. For now, I'm going to have you come up here and swear to us that you're not going to drive. I will get you to Victoria, we will have you sign a reset, and then after that, I will get you with pretrial, and then after that, you're free to go. Come on.
Yes.
Mr. Sierra, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 23rd, 2025, an officer observed a vehicle engaging in a illegal street race at the 12,425th block of Wood Forest Boulevard in Harris County, Texas. Both the defendant's vehicle and another vehicle passed the officer at a high rate of speed while attempting to pass each other in a competitive manner in an attempt to outdistance each other. The officer observed the defendant drive 96 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. A traffic stop was initiated. The defendants began to pick up speed while swerving through multiple lanes and cutting off other drivers on the roadway in an attempt to outdistance each other. The defendant admitted to speeding but denied racing. The co-defendant is a juvenile.
Question on court.
Run his license, see if he has a license.
Yes, Judge. Oh, he does not have a driver's license on file, Your Honor.
Mr. Sierra, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. You do not have a Texas driver license. You are not allowed to drive. I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit, a promise that you're going to make to me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If I find that you drive, I will put you in jail. And if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail, it's very possible immigration puts a detainer on you and you will be in there until this case is over with. How old are you, sir?
Right there.
20.
Did you want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer?
Sí.
Yes.
Look at me. Heed this warning. You get no more. If I find that you're a danger to my public in any way, I will put you in jail in a moment's notice. Do you understand? Think before you act. You hang with the wrong people, it's not going to go well for you. Come on. All right, Mr. Wong, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and/or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 18th, 2025, an officer was dispatched to a call for service in reference to a major crash. The witness stated that he observed the defendant sitting in the front driver's seat behind them and crash into another vehicle by rear-ending it at the 9,000th block of Bel Air Boulevard. The witness stated that he observed the defendant was driving recklessly prior to the vehicle crash. The officer observed a strong odor of alcohol emitting from the defendant's breath, slurred speech, glossy eyes, and slightly unsteady balance. The defendant admitted to consuming an unknown amount of alcohol. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues were served on the HGN, and the defendant was unable to perform the walk and turn test in one leg stand due to a past ankle injury. The defendant consented to provide a breath specimen. The results were .123 and .122.
How many prior DWIs have you in an NCIC?
Yes, he has 1 prior DWI.
Here, anywhere else, anything else? No? Great, license?
I can check.
He does have
Please.
anything, Judge John Wall.
Right. That's who it needs to be, not David.
I can also pass it.
His driver's license is eligible, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Wong, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case, and I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bonds. I am now also placing another restriction on you because it's a second offense. I'm ordering you to obtain an ignition interlock, and you're not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have one. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have one, you will go to jail. Do you understand? I'm sending notice to DPS in Austin so that every single officer in the state knows. You understand? Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with the other Mr. Wong and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. For now, I'll have you get a Victoria sign a reset. You'll get with pre-op for your bond conditions and then you're free to go.
Just June 3rd through the 5th.
Mr. Wong, did you hear that?
Yes, I did. Your Honor, I just have one question. The vehicle that he is driving to and from work.
Is that what you were about to say? Come on up. So,
the ignition. I'm sorry, Judge. Go ahead.
is it inoperable, I guess?
It's inoperable at this time. We don't even know if it's going to be repairable. But the point I'm trying to make is that the vehicle that he drives, he shares with his mother. So I don't know if with the ignition, the system, if that's going to be something that
You're not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an interlock on it. So if you're going to drive mom's vehicle, it has to have an interlock on it, and that's it.
okay. That's just okay.
No, I don't want you driving any vehicle that doesn't have an interlock. I mean, I want to make sure that if you get in a car, there's no alcohol on board. That's it. So if you want to get a portable device and you're telling me you're not going to drive, I'm going to have you sign an affidavit promising me you're not going to drive. So, whatever vehicle you put it in, or if you're going to drive, you got to have one. You make the decision.
Yes,
If you want me to give you a portable device, I'm happy to do that, but you're going to promise me you're not going to drive it. Okay. So I guess, just let them know what you want to do. I mean, if you want to take time to think about it, I'm happy to give you time as well.
Yes, Judge, that would be great. Let me confer with my client and then we'll decide.
So, go outside, step outside, you talk, and then, when you make your decision, just let us know. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Sure.
I'm gonna get on the side.
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning, sir.
So you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
On March 21st, 2025, at approximately 10 p.m., an officer was investigating a fatal motorcycle accident with emergency lights activated, and the road was shut down from both directions. Accident investigators notified dispatch of a vehicle which disregarded all marked units and drove through the accident scene, almost striking officers and record drivers at the crash site. The officer observed the vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed and cut through an Exxon service station parking lot and turned down another road. The officer followed the vehicle and initiated a traffic stop. The vehicle accelerated and began darting in and out of lanes without using a turn signal. The vehicle then turned and came to a stop. A high-risk stop was conducted and the defendant was taken into custody. A security sweep of the vehicle was conducted and the officer observed 2 baggies of a green leafy substance in plain view on the driver's side seat, known from training and experience to be marijuana. The defendant was identified by his 6 driver's license, and the defendant was transported back to the accident scene, where the accident investigator confirmed the defendant's vehicle was the same vehicle that disregarded the marked patrol vehicles and disregarded the safety of the people on the scene. Other officers who witnessed the defendant's vehicle confirmed this. Deputy Chicoya advised that the defendant's vehicle almost struck multiple patrol vehicles and had approached officers while they had to abruptly move out of the way. And then Deputy Chicoya observed the defendant's vehicle almost strike 2 record drivers who were authorized to be on the scene. The record drivers confirmed this. Witness Cross advised he yelled at the vehicle to stop, and the defendant's vehicle began to accelerate faster. The defendant acknowledged he...
Mr. Davis, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. Can you run his license? Please see that.
His driver's license is ineligible, Your Honor.
Mr. Davis, you are not allowed to drive.
Sir.
You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care if Jesus comes from heaven and needs to ride to church. If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Sir.
I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my community. If I find that you drive, much less drive maniacally like this, as they allege, it's not going to go well for you. If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and then we can talk. But until that point, if you do, it's not going to go well for you. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with her. If she tells you that you're playing games, you're not responding to phone calls, text messages, you've gone AWOL, you pick up a new case, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. Do you understand?
Sir.
I'm not asking much. All I want my streets to be safe. That's it. I'll have you come up here, swear to us you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria, sign a reset, and then you're on your way. Thanks. All right. All right. Good morning, Mr. Donosby. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On March 20th, 2025, at approximately 9:24 p.m., officers observed a black Chrysler traveling southbound on Kinswood Drive, noting that the rear license plate was not illuminated, making it difficult to see, and a traffic stop was initiated. Upon activation of the emergency equipment, the motor vehicle accelerated rapidly. Based on a loud sound from the motor vehicle's exhaust and speed which it was traveling, the officer believed that the driver was attempting to elude. The motor vehicle made a sudden right turn into a private drive and continued before coming to a stop. The officer made contact with the defendant, who was the driver, and also made contact with the front passenger, who was identified. The officer observed a strong odor of marijuana. The defendant was detained due to furtive movements inside the vehicle. The officer observed multiple open container beverage vehicles, including a Four Loko and Buzzball cans in plain view in the rear passenger area. The officer observed a black bag in the front passenger seat with a 9mm handgun and a green leafy substance inside. The substance was identified as marijuana due to the officer's training and experience. The defendant admitted to possessing both the handgun and the marijuana. The officer observed slurred speech and a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage on her breath. The defendant stated that she consumed one alcoholic beverage at approximately 9 a.m. The defendant performed SFSTs. The HGN was a 6 out of 6, the walk and turn was a 7 out of 8, and the one leg stand was a 1 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath, which the results were a .121 and a .116.
Any prior to DWI and then does she have a license?
Prior to DWIs, her license is eligible.
You said,
It is eligible.
right, but no prior to DWI?
No prior.
Okay. Mr. Ray Cosby, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, it's not going to go well. I'm telling you now, I will test you 45 to 50 days from today. If you're still using, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and car insurance in your name. That is also a condition of your bond as well.
Yeah.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am?
Sure.
You can apply for an appointed lawyer.
Yes, please.
Okay. Deputy Miranda's going to give an application. I'll have you fill it out. I'm going to have you sign a reset, Victoria, and then we'll have you take a signature box name. Please. You are Rafael Garcia.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garcia, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 23rd, 2025, the officer observed a vehicle traveling at a very high rate of speed. The officer was unable to get its exact speed, but based on his training and experience, and the fact that the vehicle rapidly passed other vehicles, determined that the vehicle was well above the 35 miles per hour posted speed limit, and a traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and observed an odor of an alcoholic beverage on his breath and person, and watery eyes. The defendant admitted to drinking a mixed drink at a party earlier in the evening, and SFSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the HDN, a 0 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 0 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The DIC was read, but the defendant refused to provide a specimen, and a blood warrant was signed.
Okay. Any priority to the
This is where everything flips. An ICE detainer is huge. It means even if he posts bond, immigration can hold him. Judges don't play around once immigration, weapons, and repeated violations mixed together. What would you do if you had chance after chance, and still kept slipping?
License, does he have a license?
No prior DWIs, his license is ineligible.
Eligible.
Ineligible.
Mr. Garcia, you're not allowed to drive. You do not have a Texas driver license. That is a condition of your bond. If I find that you drive, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're also not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or illegal drugs, likewise, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This is an affidavit that you're going to sign with me today, that you're promising me you're not going to drive. Heed this warning. If I find that you drive and you can't justify it by any means whatsoever, if I find that you do, it's really not going to go well for you. I can have a contempt hearing and you'll be facing 6 months in jail every time you drive. Do you understand? If you want to drive, go get a license, get car insurance, and I will do backflips letting you drive. But until that point, if I find that you do, get ready. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
We're going to give you time. I'll have you come up here, swear test you're not going to drive, we'll get you to Victoria Center reset, you'll go with pretrial, and then you're out of here. Mr. Herrera, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. This case is 143 days. You mind reading what happened, please? So you were given a general order bond. Looks like you took, it looks like we did probable cause, I'm assuming. I found probable cause at the time. We ordered you not to drive, and then I guess went AWOL. You've now made a surety bond. So, yeah, do you mind reminding me what happened, please?
On November 5th, 2025, a traffic stop was conducted on the defendant's motor vehicle after it was observed that he had expired registration. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed watery, bloodshot eyes and the odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant admitted
He's driving. Oh, I mean, this is this case.
expired.
Because he just picked up a felony, see.
Yes, it was a PC.
So I guess, yeah, go forward with this one, and then I want to know what happened in the felony. Please.
Absolutely. The defendant admitted to drinking a can of an empty Budweiser that was found on the passenger floorboard. SFSTs were conducted. It was a 2 out of 6 on the HGN, a 6 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 1 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to correct, but provided unacceptable samples. The defendant then consented to blood and a blood draw was conducted. And we do have the results of that blood.
Do you do it or not?
We do.
Okay.
And it came back for 0.05 of ethanol as well as methamphetamine and amphetamine and THC.
Okay, what happened in the felony?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please.
There we go. On March 22nd, 2025, the officer observed a vehicle displaying a fictitious buyer's tag and a traffic stop was initiated. The defendant, the driver, provided a Texas driver's license and warrant checks. Provided a Texas driver's license, and the warrant check revealed an outstanding warrant, which led to his arrest, and that would be the DWI. During the inventory search of the defendant's property at Pasadena Jail, officers found a clear zip bag containing a white crystal-like substance identified as methamphetamine, which weighed 0.87 grams.
I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system as of right now. If you fail to go test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to revoke your bond and make it so high you will have hair falling out. Do you understand, Mr. Hara? And the next time you miss court, likewise, your bond will reach the clouds. Do you understand? Sir, take your seat for me. Good morning, Mr. Juarez. Sir, you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 22nd, 2025, officers were dispatched at around 2 a.m. to a burglary in progress call at 2717 Stony Brook Drive, apartment number 411 in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant to be sticking his head through a broken apartment window from the outside of the apartment. The complainant stated that the defendant began banging on her door and window, trying to get inside. The complainant stated that she had no idea who the defendant is and she had never seen him before. The defendant then broke the apartment window with his right fist and appeared to be trying to get inside the apartment. The complainant stated that she was scared for her and her children, who were also inside the apartment.
And it's a mischief?
The complainant stated that the damage was $100. The officer observed the window to be broken and the defendant had cuts and blood on his right hand for breaking the window, and there was also blood on it.
You're not charged with a series of felonies. Mr. Juarez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case, and I'm now going to put an ankle monitor on you so I know where you are at all times, and I'm giving you a curfew. If I find that you're a danger to my community, I only have one place for you. Do you understand? You are not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. If you fail to go test, if you fail to come back, I will revoke your bond. Do you understand? You're not to be in possession of any weapons. You're not to go anywhere near where these people live, work at all.
The court's information, there should be dismissed, it looks like the complaint in all those two cases live on the same street that this mischief happened on.
Any connection, you think?
The defendant did state on the scene that he believed that he was at a different apartment on Dunleavy and wanted his mom to let him inside. Explains anything, Your Honor.
Regardless, I'm going to send it for a test now. I want to see what, if anything, is in his system.
Here, I was just more for violation.
Guys, on everything, waive the fees for everything, please. I'm going to send you for a test now. Come back. Do you understand? If you don't test, if you don't come back, it's not going to go well for you. Take a seat for me. You literally pled guilty, not 10 days ago, and now you're back again. You now stand charged with the offense of fleeing a police officer. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 20th, 2025, officers were conducting an active patrol at the 15,300 block of Corona Del Mar Drive in Harris County, Texas, and observed a black GMC Sierra traveling at a high rate of speed in a residential neighborhood. The motor vehicle attempted to slow down once they noticed the marked patrol vehicle by hitting the brakes. At that point, the officer observed a defective taillight. The officer quickly turned on emergency lights and sirens to attempt a traffic stop. The motor vehicle failed to signal, making a right-hand turn and continued driving while the officer was behind the vehicle with lights and sirens. The defendant continued driving approximately half a mile at speeds ranging from 10 to 20 miles per hour in a residential neighborhood. The defendant disregarded 2 stop signs. And then
How fast in the residential neighborhood, did you say?
Sorry?
How fast?
10 to 20 miles per hour. A defendant disregarded 2 stop signs and then parked his motor vehicle in front of his residence and opened the motor vehicle door. The defendant was then detained. He stated that he was coming home when asked why he did not stop and was identified by his passport.
So no license?
There is no driver's license on file.
Mr. Melendez, you're not allowed to drive. If you do not have a Texas driver license and you don't have liability insurance, you're not allowed to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. I don't care what you need to do in life. If you don't have either, both, and permission from us, do not drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Since the 10 days, you put your arms down. Since the last 10 days that you were here, what have you done to change your life? What better have you done?
So, I'm always on school. Right now, I'm getting a job, Chick-fil-A.
That is now a condition. You must do one of either, in school or a job. I'm going to appoint your lawyer today, and I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks to see what you have done. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well. Do you understand? All right. I'll have you sign a reset. I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. Sir, you're on bond for an interference and a failure to ID from November. A month later, you pick up a criminal trespass, and now you pick up a fourth case, another criminal trespass. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent.
And there it is, Judge Fleischer drawing his hard line. You can almost feel the frustration when he says, "We mean it when we issue court orders." This is courtroom reality. Once trust is broken with bond violations, the system doesn't hand out second chances easily. If you were the judge, would you give him another shot or shut it down like this?
Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 17th, 2025, an officer was made aware by Voyager Apartment Complex, courtesy officer that the defendant was trespassing on the property. The officer stated that he observed the defendant walking in the hallway of the property and due to previous encounters, knew the defendant to have a criminal trespass warning from the property. The defendant was detained. The defendant has had numerous criminal trespass warnings from the location and a recent arrest for criminal trespass due to being on the location. He was identified with his Texas driver's license.
Was this the same as the prior one?
Same location, Your Honor.
Same location?
Your Honor, am I able to speak for that?
No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put an ankle monitor on you so I know where you are at all times. You're not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm also giving you a curfew. If I find that you're out in the middle of the night, if I find that you go anywhere near this, I'm going to take all your bonds now, and I will triple, quadruple. Do you understand? I'm going to protect my city at all costs. You now have 4 open cases. You have made bond on those cases. If they gave you a PR bond, but I'm telling you now, you picked up a 5th case. I'm going to make your bond so high you'll have teeth falling. Do you understand?
That's all.
Tell me about the interference, please.
Yes, Judge. So on November 26, 2024, an officer heard a verbal disturbance in a parking lot while patrolling on foot at an apartment complex. The officer made contact with the defendant and a female. The officer attempted to identify the defendant, who refused to identify himself and stated, "I'm not identifying myself." The officer
Same complex.
Let me check.
Yes, sir.
Stop.
Yes, Your Honor. Same complex.
I don't want you to go within 1,000 feet of this apartment complex. Do you understand? I have a monitor that I'm going to put on your ankle today. If it dings anywhere near there, I don't care what your excuse is. It's not going to go well for you. Your cases are now from November of 24. It is way too much drama for me. So you will get a lawyer today, and in 30 days, is discovery complete on the cases from 24? It's way too much drama. I'm ready to set these off for trial.
Discovery is complete on the interference, Your Honor. And
Very
discovery
good.
is also complete for the previous criminal trespass.
Get ready. I'm fast tracking this trial, 30 days.
Yep.
So I'm gonna appoint him a lawyer today. I'm gonna have him take a seat in the jury box, have him meet with the lawyer. 30 days it gets set for trial. You're not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, likewise, it won't go well for you. You understand? All right, come on. Good morning, Mr. Nguyen. You speak English?
Yeah.
Mr. Nguyen, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 21st, 2025, an officer was traveling southbound on Grand Way. The officer was driving 80 miles per hour in a 75 mile per hour zone. He then witnessed the defendant operating a motor vehicle pass him from the improved shoulder. The officer followed the defendant and witnessed The defendant changed lanes when unsafe, drive on the shoulder, follow other vehicles too closely, drive without lights when required, and pass on a no passing zone disregarding the safety of others.
Okay. Mr. Lynn, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run his license, please? Do you have a license? As a condition of your bond, I'm ordering you not to drive like this anymore. If I find what you do, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. Do you understand?
His driver's license is eligible.
You're not allowed to drive unless you have valid liability insurance as well as a Texas driver license. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, Mr. Wynn? How old are you? 18. Okay. We'll provide you a lawyer today. You will be signing bond conditions. I'm telling you now, jail sucks. At 18, if you end up going to jail, they will have a field day with you. Do you understand? I'm not asking much, but if I find that you make my streets unsafe in any way, it really will not go well for you. Okay? I'll have you sign a receipt. We'll have you. And then I'm all in. Okay. Deputy Miranda's going to detect you where to go. No, don't worry about it. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Do you mind filing that? No reckless driving, racing, street takeovers, donuts, etc. Please. Good morning, sir. So you're charged with the offense of falsifying drug test results. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 22nd, 2025, an officer while assigned to the Harris County Toll Road Authority DWI Task Force observed a vehicle traveling 87 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. The officer observed a traffic stop was initiated and the officer observed the strong odor of marijuana, and the defendant stated he personally smoked marijuana earlier that day. The defendant offered to allow the officer to search his vehicle for marijuana. The officer conducted a probable cause search of the vehicle and located a firearm. The officer also found a liquor flask-sized opaque plastic bottle in the glove box with a temperature sensing strip on the top containing a yellow liquid. The defendant stated he purchased the bottle so that he would not fail a drug test to get a job.
Any open cases?
No open cases, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Onikidi, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. Sir, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
I actually have a lawyer. I'm surprised it's not him.
You do have a lawyer. Let me see if any documents have been filed. Do you guys see anything? Are they going to, who, are they, you've hired them?
Yeah, I did hire them a couple of days ago.
They told you they would be here?
That's going to.
Who is it?
He's from Gilligan. I don't really.
Say Gilligan?
Yeah.
I guess let's do this. I'm not going to put any conditions on your bond. Well, hold on a second. Does he have a license?
He does. It is eligible, Your Honor.
You're not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. Do you understand? That is a condition of your bond. I guess I'll have you sign a reset now. We'll have you take a seat. It's still kind of early. We'll wait to see if they come. Do you have a phone number?
Yeah,
You can go call them, see if they'll come, and then we can address your, but don't leave until we excuse you, okay? All right, please.
Judge, that's Dave